Okay, my awesome mathematicians. Today we're going to look at how to find the percent and the whole. We did this a little bit the other day, but we're going to do lesson 6 today. And so a proportion we know is an equation that shows two ratios that are equivalent. And so in a percent proportion, one ratio compares a part to a whole, and the other ratio is an equivalent percent written as a fraction with a denominator of 100. So it says, how do you compare part and whole? Your fraction is 2/5, which is 2 parts, and 5 is the whole. And then it says, what do you call the numerator? And so the numerator would be called the part, and the denominator would be referred to as the whole. And then ratio says, using the information in the first ratio, fill in the others. So you have 2/5, which is 2 to 5, can be written that way. And it can be written as 2 to 5 with a colon. And then you've got the fraction 2/5, and you can look at the relationship to 100. So we know that 5 times 20 is 100. And so therefore 2 times 20 would give us 40 over 100, which would be 40%. And so 40% of 5 is 2. Isn't that great? Because we know that equals means is. So here we've got Kara is on her school basketball team. She has completed 9 out of 12 free throw shots successfully. Express the ratio as a percent and as a fraction in simplest form. So she's completed 9 out of 12 successfully. We can simplify that fraction. We can divide by 3. 9 divided by 3 would give us 3. 12 divided by 3 would give us 4. And 3/4 we can set up as a ratio with the denominator of 100, right? And 4 times 25, it was 100. And 3 times 25 would gives us 75. And 75 hundredths is 75%. And then as the fraction, we've already got the 3/4 right there. Okay, looking at the next page on the back, it says use models to show percent problems. And we've been doing this. We have been, using our fraction bar, our fraction strip, our bar graph, whatever word you want to use for it, to divide it up into percents. We looked at benchmark percents, and to divide whatever that whole number is into equal parts. So here it says 10 is what percent of 40? 40 would be your whole. Okay, 10 is your part, and percent we don't know. And so they did the 100% bar graph, and they've got the whole that represents 40, represents 40. And then they knew that one of our parts was 10, so we had to divide it in sticks of, parts of 10. And so it says, since the GCF of 10 and 40 is 10, that's how you know to use 10 as your equal part, your intervals. And so it says, write 100% on the 40. We did that. Since there are 4 sections, the benchmark percent would be 25. Label the bar graph in multiples of 25%. That's done for you. And so the number 10 is at the 25% mark right there. And I'm going to shade it for us so we can see where it's shaded. And so that means that 10 is 25% of 40. Okay. Down here, it says country music makes up 75% of Landon's music library. If he downloaded 90 country music songs, how many songs does Landon have in his music library? So it says that we know that he has 75% of his music is country, and he downloaded 90 songs. So this is saying to use a double number line to model. So they're showing that on the top, you're modeling, you need 75%, right? So that would obviously be chunks of 25. And then if you took 90 and you divided it into 3 parts, because we know that's 75%, then, and if we did 30 more, that would give us the 100% mark. So that means that he has 120 songs in his music library. Isn't that an interesting way of looking at that? Okay. So right here it says 30 is what percent of 60. So you know how we've done the part over whole equals percent over 100? You could also do is over of equals percent over 100 is another way of looking at it as well. So here we've got 30 is a part. What percent? We don't know what percent of 60 would be of the whole. So that means that you would do 30 over 60 equals x over 100. And you could look and you could go, 30 over 60. I could simplify that, right? I know that's 1/2, isn't it? And then I could go 2 times what's 100? 2 times 50. So 1 times 50 is x. So my answer would be 50%. Was that easy? Okay. Right here for part B, so we can put our answer over here. Part B, you've got 60 is 20% of what number? I don't have enough space. I'm going to write up here and put B up here. So 60 is my part. My whole, I don't know what it is, but I know that it's 20%, which is 20 over 100, right? And so, look at this. So 20 times what is 60? 20 times 3, right? So 100 times 3 would give us that answer. So x would equal 300. Oh, wasn't that easy? Yeah? Okay. Peyton spent 60% of her money to buy a new television. If the television cost $300, how much money did she have? Okay. So she spent 60%. Okay. And the television was $300, which was 60%. So that's the part, because we don't know how much money she had in all. Right? So we could look at this relationship and go, 60 times what? What's 6 times 30? 6 times what's 30? 6 times 5, right? So 60 times 5, isn't that going to be 300? It sure is, isn't it? So 100 times 5 is going to give us x, which would be $500. Oh, I love it. Okay, now let's look at page 413. Percent proportions, which is kind of what we've been doing, right? It says part over whole, and then this is your percent. And so looking at this one, 15 is 30% of what number? 15 is your part. Your whole you don't know, and you've got 30 over 100. Look at that. 30 divided by 2 gives you 15. 100 divided by 2 gives you 50. Not easy? Okay. Then number 4, you've got 225 is what percent over 100? And that's going to be out of 300. Out of 300. And so so you look at that relationship between 100 and 300, and so that's times 3. Or you could look at it, 300 divided by 3 gives you 100. So 225 divided by 3 would give us that answer. Probably. Okay, thank you. And so if you had 225 divided by 3, that's going to give you 75, which means it would be 75%. Well, whoops, 75 over 100 is 75%. Okay. Well, let's look at, you know what, we can do some more of these. I like these. So we've got 75. This is for D. We've got 75 is our of, we don't know, 15%. So that's 15 over 100. So 15 times what? Or 75 divided by something is going to be 15. 15 times 2 is 30, so 15 times 4. Would it be 15 times 5? I think it would. So it would be 15 times 5 would give you 75, right? And so then 100 times 5 would give you 500. So D would be 500. 75 is 15% of 500. And then E. You've got 9 is 36%, and we don't know what the whole is, do we? But we do know that 36 divided by 4 is 9, so 100 divided by 4 would be 25. Isn't that easy? We're just looking at the relationship. F. We have 7 is what percent? We know all percents are out of 100, right? Is what percent of 10? Well, 10 times 10 is 100. 7 times 10 would be 70. So F would be 70%. Okay. How about G? I'll put G up here, just all over the place. Sorry, y'all. 7 is our part, or our is. Our whole thing is 20, and we don't know our percent. So 20 times 5 is 100. So 7 times 5 would be 35. So G would be 35%. To recap this, I hope that you understand that you're just looking for part, whole, and percent, and you're looking at the relationship. On your assignment, you've got your guided practice here. You've got your independent practice here. Yeah. So I'll probably have you do, I think we'll just do page 415, and we'll do 1 through 9, okay? And do know that you're going to have a quiz or a summative assessment over this. Plan to have it on Tuesday, okay? So anyway, I hope this makes sense, and if you have any questions, let me know when I see you in class. See you later.